So let's take a check on the way the two sides line up. This is England. Radlinski at full-back, Price, Naylor, Senior and Chev Walker, the three-quarters. Tony Smith and Sean Long at half-back. And the forwards, Harvey Howard, Rowley, Fielden, Morley, Forshaw and Farrell, the skipper, at loose forward. And the substitutes, Wellens, Sinfield, Fleary and Anderson. The coach is John Keir. Australia, familiar names if you watch our coverage of the NRL. Darren Lockyer at fullback, Matt Rogers, Ryan Girdler, Matthew Gidley, Wendell Saylor. Brad Fittler is the captain and Brett Kimorley keeps his place at scrum half. The forward, Shane Webke, Andrew Johns. They say he's the best scrum half in the world. He's playing tonight at hooker. Robbie Kearns completes the front row. Gordon Tallis, Brian Fletcher and Scott Hill. And their substitutes, Adam McDougall, Jason Croker, Darren Britt and Jason Stevens. And the coach is Chris Anderson. Well, the England supporters determined to enjoy their night out here at Twickenham despite the elements. And they are going to get well and truly behind this team, who beat Australia 20 points to 16 in the 1995 World Cup opener. And they went on then to beat Fiji 46-0, South Africa 46-0 and Wales in the semi-final 25-10. But they lost to the Aussies at Wembley by 8 points to 16. Party atmosphere for this, the start of a carnival of rugby league. And Twickenham is throbbing to the sounds of We Will Rock You, a familiar anthem in the Super League these days. The Aussies are here as well, of course. They're in force. They know that 9 different clubs have provided players for their squad, but now's the moment for Andy Farrell to lead his troops into battle. What a night for Leon Price. Keith Senior with the youngsters either side of him and Scott Naylor have heavy responsibility in the centres as well. But they look determined, don't they? They look like they are ready for the challenge that lies ahead. And the challenge comes from these men. Just Brad Fittler and Andrew Johns survived from 1995. Fittler also in the side which won the World Cup in 1992. No shortage of World Cup experience here then. Andrew Johns, man of the match in the 1995 final against England. He was also voted the player of the tournament. And they have won 8 of the previous 11 World Cup tournaments of the Aussies. Great Britain denied them famously in 1954, 1960 and 1972. Twickenham looking spick and span, and how the pitch has survived the deluge of rain today, the Lord only knows. But out they come, the Australians unbackable. They're 7-1 on to win this trophy, the World Cup, for the 6th time in a row. They look pretty pumped up for the challenge that lies ahead as well. Well, the flags of St George flying stiffly in the breeze that is swirling around Twickenham tonight as the two coaches and the two captains lead the Gladiators onto the field. And this will be to rich applause. This is a moment when the nerves will really start to jangle. England with the cross of St George emblazoned on their chests. Australia in the traditional green and gold. Great atmosphere. We're all ready for this. Andrew Farrell looking stern and determined, the English captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the team's anthems.
Kim Chandler with the Australians' national anthem. And it's Land of Hope and Glory for England. Stir the blood, nothing will. Steve-O, these are occasions to savour.
Sure are, the emotion written all over the English coach, John Keir. It'll be the same for the Australians. Breaking new ground, of course, playing here at Twickenham. But that will be the furthest from their minds. They know they have a job to do, a job that will not be easy. That man will lead with courage and with pride. For 80 minutes, he will give all.
Big night for the referee, David Pakiato from New Zealand. In touch with the sidelines, we have the video referee in operation, of course, during the World Cup. Massive screen here at Twickenham tonight, way up in the heavens on the right-hand side of this stadium.
Here we go.
So we're ready. The World Cup's about to come alive. Ireland did the home nations proud this afternoon. England now expects, and England will have first use of the football. Here we go. And Stuart Fielden is greeted by fearsome Australian defence.
Pretty solid, that'll lift the Kangaroos, that is for sure. They really went into it. This is the moment where England have to just keep their nerve. Do nothing silly.
Play out the first set of 6, get a good kick in, that will be the key. This is Andrew Farrell. England not making too much progress. Now perhaps they will with Harvey Howard. Well known to Gordon Tallis, who got the tackle in on him, of course. Brisbane teammates back home, grand final winners back home. Talking of grand final winners, there's one of our own from Sean Long, but it's right down the throat of Darren Lockyer. The England chase is good, but Lockyer almost away. Farrell and Senior in the end combining to haul the Aussie fullback down.
Well, not the best kick, but the chase was good, and that's important.
And that's a great tackle from Rowley. Terrific tackle that from Rowley, and he felt that, did Matthew Gidley.
Big hit there from Morley. He gave him another serve as well with the right arm. Not seen by the official.
Webke knows that Morley's about. This is Tallis to halfway for the Australians. The opening set of 6 for the Kangaroos. Darting little run from Johns. England caught offside.
That's the advantage of the Australians. They play the ball ever so quickly. They move it forward. And you could see there that the English side were very slow. They have to get back quicker. 5 or 6 to select from there, from Mr. Paquito. It'll be a big night for him as well, but England have to make sure they get back that 10.
And this is a big set of 6 coming up for the English hopes. The Australians are 20 metres away. And on the charge goes in Robbie Kearns. First tackle, set of 6. Vital set of 6 for England this. Here is Webke. The English defence at the moment is standing firm. Fielden and Rowley in very quickly. The mist from the fireworks is starting to clear. Scott Hill gets the pass away. This is Fletcher, and Fletcher is grabbed by Chev Walker, and Adrian Morley there also standing firm. Scott Hill at dummy half again, gets it away to Johns. The water is splashing up from the boots of the Aussies, and Johns has lost possession. Huge side relief.
Not surprisingly, that was a big hit from Harvey Howard.
And Johns is in trouble.
Not only that, the second row of Brian Fletcher is in trouble too. Two Australians down.
And England have a penalty.
That was one big hit there from Harvey Howard. Bang, he came across. It did not look right. That perhaps should have been a penalty. The referee has not seen it. Watch the swinging right arm.
He was falling.
Falling?
Robbie Kearns rather was falling.
What a big hit.
There's blood there on the leg of Brian Fletcher.
Well, we wanted the English to get it into the faces of the Australians pretty quick. It's a blood bin for Fletcher. They are certainly not messing around there, the English boys.
Well, there are 12 substitutions allowed in World Cup 2000. That includes blood bins. So 12 minus 1 now for Australia. They have 11 left. And Brian Fletcher is not too clever.
Well, we said get into their faces, and there's two, one of them anyway, Fletcher. He's very groggy indeed.
The referee has put him in the blood bin, but Fletcher's still on the field. I think he's going to come off now. Penalty, the Aussies not standing square at the play of the ball, Steve.
See, they're quite, they were eager to get on with it. Well, that certainly will be a big problem for the Australian coach, Chris Anderson. Fletcher, one of his main men. Great support player, but, well, the defensive effort from England is somewhat hot.
And welcome to the mother country, Brian Fletcher. Now here goes Harvey Howard again. I bet you the Aussies will be hunting him. Rowley again at dummy half, and here is Morley. He will be looking for a big game today. Off to the Sydney City Roosters at the end of this World Cup. Sean Long hands it on short. Good tackling though by Webke again on Fielden. Now then, Rowley, good scampering run, but stopped dead in his tracks by Johns.
Such an important role there from Paul Rowley. He's got to do more from the dummy half. First time we've seen Sean Long, but it's a good opening stanza there from the English side.
Well, Australia then was stood a metre in front of the referee. He says it's the last tackle, and it's a kick over the top from Radlinski under pressure, straight down the throat of Lockyer. Here come the Aussies now.
They can't afford to do this, Eddie. They've got to stop putting the ball straight down the throat of Darren Lockyer. He's the best open player in rugby league football.
Well, Radlinski was under some pressure. He got the kick away, but as you say, straight down the throat of him. It's Ryan Girdler now for the Aussies, right on the halfway line. And here again comes Robbie Kearns, and the big forward charging at the English line.
Oh, we were going backwards there instead of meeting the charging forward. Got to move up.
Kimorley look for Saylor out wide. Saylor's onside. Saylor's going to score. Saylor will get the first try at Twickenham. Oh, there was no defence at home out wide. And the touch judge, well, he waved him in. He said he was onside, but the referee, David Pakiito, has gone to the video referee.
Well, we see quite clearly he's a mile onside. Kicked early in the tackle count. No one at home. No one decided to drop back. We mentioned the fact, Eddie, that the Australians would utilise a kick towards the two wingers, and they've done it very early. And you can see quite clearly out wide. I don't know why they're waiting for this to be decided. This will be TRY, no doubt about it.
The giant screen will tell us the tale, I'm sure. First try on the way for Wendell Saylor, I think. Try is given. And Twickenham goes just a little bit quiet. Wendell Saylor, his 12th try for his country. And John Keir knows his defence was caught flat out wide.
They get it. Beautiful kick into the corner. You can see there they were caught out. Wendell Saylor, well, that is a gift try. They really should have been aware of the early kick. Brett Kimorley, one of the best in the game. He just waited. Could have made a cup of tea there. Oh, that is so disappointing the way that they give that try away.
Rogers to add the extras, one of the best goal kickers in the world, but he sliced that. So maybe England can breathe a sigh of relief. It's only 4-0. And Brett Kimorley with his first touch of the football, laying a try on the plate for Wendell Saylor. And what a record he has got. in international football. What a record he's got in club football, come to that. The big Australian winger.
The inexperience showing there, Eddie. It was a big gamble by John Keir to throw in the two inexperienced youngsters, Leon Price, Chev Walker, and one of them was caught out very badly indeed.
Well, it will certainly settle the Australian nerves, but will it just spur England on now to something a little bit special? 4-0, an early score for Australia, not in the script for John Keir. The Australians in possession again with try scorer Wendell Sailor at the dummy half. He gets it away to Kearns. Good defence. It's now with Tallis. And Fletcher was in the blood bin when that try was scored, and interestingly, Chris Anderson hasn't used one of the substitutes. They're still playing with 12 men. That's incredible. This is Radlinski. What a chase! What a chase and what a tackle from Girdler.
Well, I don't know what's going round on the Australian bench, but to leave them out with just 12, just counting them there, it appears they've still only got 12.
Well, that doesn't show too much respect for the English, does it, to play on with 12 men? Maybe he is holding them for what is to come later, because remember, they only arrived in this country from Australia on Monday, and he was telling us privately last night, Chris Anderson, that jet lag has been a bit of a problem. His men have been struggling to get to sleep.
Well, it looks like Fletcher is ready to return to the fray.
High kick from Farrell. Price is after it, and Price almost got it, but Rogers, he was the man who came up with the goods.
That was a great kick. He nearly had it, as you mentioned. But he's pretty solid, is Matt Rogers, not only in this side just for his kicking ability, but again, the kick's so important, and it will be tonight.
Naylor was appealing then for a knock-on against the Aussies.
Not just the high kicks, but the little grubber. It is extremely wet out there.
Well, you can see every time they plough their way forward, particularly up the England defensive end, that the water just spills over the top of the boots. That's Tallis who takes the tackle. Farrell gets off him. Tallis plays the ball to Johns, and then it comes back, and Kearns seeing a lot of it. Johns again at dummy half. The kick angled and almost over the top of Radlinski, but the England fullback collects it without too much trouble. Now the chase is on. Radlinski taking on Girdler, and also in there the Aussie captain as well. Pretty solid tackler as well as Ryan Girdler. He's one of the stars of this Australian outfit. From 1 to 13, they really are top quality. That's the reason why I mentioned that. Fielden's lost it. Fielden's lost it in the tackle. He's gifted it back to Kimorley. Kimorley then on to Scott Hill. They're flooding forward in support. Over the top it goes to Wendell Sailor. This is a huge problem for England. This fellow, he gets it away to Gidley, and Gidley disappears under the challenge from Walker and from Farrell. Well, now, whenever Wendell Sailor gets it, there is danger for England. Scott Hill. That's only 2 tackles gone, and they are inside the 10-metre zone with Kimorley. It goes wide to the skipper, Fittler. On it goes then. And that's a try to Girdler. Girdler scampered in. Referee's not giving it again. He holds it up. He's gone to the screen again. He wants to see whether it's a double movement, but he did well, Girdler. You see him dive. He knows it's slippy out there. Now, all he has to do is just keep the elbow square in, and the momentum will take him through. Oh, he's moved it. He's lifted it. Surely. Well, it looks that way. Surely it's a double movement, this. Well, the ball carrying arm hits the deck there, and if he moves the arm again, deliberate move, double movement, this will be no try. But again, the English caught out wide. No doubt in my mind. Let's hope that the video referee feels the same way. I'm confident. Well, you're confident. That means it'll be a try, this. Everyone in the stadium waiting, and England supporters breathe a sigh of relief. You were right. Can't get them right sometimes, but so ingenious, wasn't it? As the centre, Ryan Girdler knew that the weather conditions, perhaps it would slide away, and maybe that gives you some indication that this ground is so good, it's absorbed so much rain today. The drainage here must be absolutely fantastic. Well, it's starting to scar a little from the pounding of the hooves out there, but England will be relieved that Ryan Girdler, who has scored a try in both internationals this year against New Zealand and Papua New Guinea, has been denied by the video referee. Fielden also will be denied, and he's lost that.
He nearly lost it. They've got away with it. Touch judges certainly didn't interfere there. A big problem, of course, for...
Good ball from Forshaw to Farrell, then on to Long, and Morley has hit the gap.
Just saying, Eddie, the big problem for the English is that they've not got themselves in an attacking position to apply anything towards the Australians.
They might now, because they're with Farrell. And Robbie Kearns was over the top of him then. This now is Sean Long, and a kick for Chev Walker to chase, but that's too deep. No, and that went, as soon as it left the boot, that was far too deep.
The idea was good. You'll be disappointed with that, Sean Long. That's the first real opportunity that England have had to get into the quarter. Of course, there was a kick out wide onto the right, Leon Price, but was defused by Matt Rogers.
England getting stuck in, but Australia offloading the ball ominously. This is Fittler, little drop of the shoulders, but fortunately he didn't deceive Scott Naylor.
That's another big problem that the English will have, of course. Andrew Johns, not a recognised hooker, but one of the best halfbacks in the world playing in that position. He will run from dummy half.
Oh, Fletcher's back out of the blood bin. That's a very loose pass, but they've got away with it, Australia. It's with Gordon Tallis, and Tallis loses it. He tried to keep that ball alive, he lost it. Fielden claims the possession back for the English.
Far too fancy there from the big second rower. Really should have gone to ground with it, especially in these conditions. Missed opportunity. Try to offload, far too much traffic.
Senior now, he offloads and finds Chev Walker. Walker taken on by Gidley, and Gidley wins that particular battle. Here now goes Rowley down the blind side, but good defence this time from Matthew Gidley. And Anderson is on to add his weight. Oh, but he's dropped it.
Football, was it reefed down?
No.
Play the knock on.
Well, Anderson's furious, he is.
Well, two mistakes. Here's the second one from the big fella Anderson. You could see quite clearly there that there was no interference from Brian Fletcher. He just lost control of this.
Stand up, boys.
Fletcher definitely grabbing the shirt, not the football. Can't afford to do that.
Down together. Stay loose.
So Australia's feet at the scrum, and Kim Morley gets it back and gives it to Fittler. A little juggle then from Darren Lockyer, but England cannot let this fellow run with the ball in hand. The Australian fullback. I think England have only been in the opposition territory about once or twice in this first half. 12 and a half minutes gone, the Aussies ahead, 4-0. And there is the possession. 7 minutes the Aussies have been camped in English territory out of 12, and England, they've been in the other half just 1 minute in possession, that is. Here is Tallis. Such a handful is Gordon Tallis. The dump to the ground.
Well, the ploy of just play the ball down is working for the Englishmen.
Here is Fittler though. Out wide there is Girdler. Girdler forced out further wide. This is Rogers. Rogers dumped the ball over the top. England have got it back. Mike Forshaw has it back now for England. They're trying to keep the ball alive though.
Did well there though, the Australians keeping that ball away from the touch. Finished up with it. Second
Referee loses his patience.
Fittler, the culprit. But the ploy that they're utilising, this is the penalty that's given away. Never allowed the big fella any chance to get on with it quickly.
Well, England now are desperate to make some territory from this penalty. Stuart Fielden. Fittler is in there, so too is Webke, the prop forward.
Trouble is though, Eddie, England cannot just fall into the trap of playing one-out football. They will tire late in the game. They've got to be more adventurous. I know they haven't had many opportunities, but they've got to try something. They haven't got to wait until they get into the quarter line. They've got to try something midway.
The Aussies are all over them like a rash at the moment, every time they're in possession. Something maybe here might develop. This is Tony Smith. Last season with Wigan, next season with Hull. On halfway, he plays the ball to Sean Long, who gives it to Adrian Morley. Morley, a fearsome sight when he's going forward, and he gets the penalty. Head-high tackle on Morley.
Scott Hill, swinging arm, but that's the aggressive running that we need. You can see he went on the second bite. Well spotted by the official. First one on the shoulder, second one right in the mush.
Scott Hill is wanted by the referee.
Not surprisingly, a few words being said to the skipper.
Penalty for the head-high tackle by Scott Hill. Remember him, don't we, from the World Club Championship when he came over as a youngster in 1997. He's not that old now. Boy, has he blossomed.
Well, the combination, the two halfbacks with Brett Kimmorley, of course, especially down in Melbourne, and that's the advantage again, what Chris Anderson has got. He knows that Scott Hill playing loose forward tonight, he can bring him into the standoff role at any time.
Here's Sean Long. This is an opportunity for England, but the pass is just at the moment not sticking. First time for the English. They might now with Farrell. He's away from one, and there was a good run then. He gets it away, but
support was slow. Farrell was doing everything right.
He got a penalty. He would have a penalty. Obstruction. No, he was pulling back the man without the ball. Penalty in front of the post. England will surely take two.
They could have had six. You can see there, Farrell. It was big Gordon Tallis that was stopping Forshaw from supporting, but someone really should have been right at the backside of the skipper. No doubt about it that Tallis interfering. He looks confused. I think he's knows quite well he's conceded 2 points.
Yes, Andy Farrell is lining up the penalty goal here. Gordon Tallis just clawing Mike Forshaw back without the football. And the England skipper here with a chance to get his team on the board, which he does. And that's one bet gone west, because the bookies were offering that the Australians would go through this tournament without conceding a point. That's one well and truly gone.
Well, I know I'm a mug punter at times, Eddie, but I don't think I'd have had a couple of shillings on that one.
No, it's ridiculous. But they were talking about it.
Well, not with this guy out in the field. I know he's a vice-captain, but believe you me, Gordon Tallis, he has a real temper. Chris Anderson, the Australian coach.
Well, Chris Anderson, a member of the 1978 and 82 Kangaroo touring team. He also a member of the 1975 World Cup triumph. He came off the bench in the 10-all draw with England at the SCG. And England have certainly got a bit more venom in those runs from deep now that Anderson is on the field. Another penalty for England. Well, the referee's doing his best.
Come on, get to the mark,
Well, the New Zealand referee not allowing Sean Long to get on with it.
Stand square.
The British referees allow that.
Stand square.
With international rules, they like to make sure that everybody's back the full 10 metres.
Chris Anderson passing the information down to the touchline. He won't be happy with this penalty count against his men. Here's Anderson again, but he's driven back. That's the first tackle, though. It's 4-2 to Australia, but a massive penalty count against the Aussies. And here is Fielding again. Oh, and there's a problem there. Scott Hill, I think it is, has gone down. Ball picked up on the bounce. Here now is Farrell. Knock off.
Well,
Knock on given.
Surely there must have been interference with the player down. So, in effect, he would have been offside. He was still offside at the play of the ball. I know he's injured, but it certainly interfered with the ball getting away from the dummy half position.
Hold it there, hold it. Hold it steady.
18 minutes on the watch. The favourites ahead by 4 points to 2 against the host nation. Or one of the host nations. That's Gidley, Matthew Gidley, a former junior Kangaroo. Highly impressive season he's had this year with the Newcastle Knights. They've made a change now, the Aussies. That's Darren Britt on for them. Right on halfway. And just 2 offloads from England. No breaks as yet. 6 breaks from the Aussies. 4 offloads. That was another attempted offload that didn't come off.
Knock on there from the big prop forward, Shane Wetke.
I said it was a knock. It was an attempted offload, Steve-O, and that really took a lot away from that tackle.
It certainly was. They're getting into their faces. Anderson, well, he's got a 2-point lead, but I think even he realises that the English guys really have taken it to them. But this Australian defence is pretty solid. They're playing a very tight sliding defence as well.
England, I think, will be well pleased with the situation after 19 minutes, though. Only 2 points in it. Oh, but the ball retention, the conditions can be blamed, and you cannot afford to put down passes like that. Scott Naylor, the culprit.
You could see quite clearly, should I say, that Naylor just had a little bit of a glance at Ryan Girdler. Can't afford to do that at this level. have to realise that Australia will be in their faces all the time. That's how they play it.
Well, I think with the jet lag and the ring rustiness on the Australians, they would love to build up a massive lead in the first hour, and they weren't too impressed with that tackle by Tony Smith, and it's starting to get a little bit heated.
Well, to be fair, there's been quite a few headshots from both sides.
Just over there, just over there.
This is one that you wouldn't see. It was an elbow clash there. That was a pretty bad one as well by Tony Smith. Oh, what on earth has come across him? And you can see that his left forearm is well padded.
I suspect it was an elbow. I'm going to put it on report. All right.
And rightly so, Eddie.
That incident will be on report, will be viewed by the disciplinary committee.
It looked very bad indeed.
I've seen an elbow, I suspect. I didn't see the point of contact. I did see an arm raised. Okay, man. Put it on report. Yeah, okay. All right.
The referee is right. The arm was definitely raised. I think, fortunately, it didn't quite make contact. But that incident goes on report, will be viewed by the disciplinary committee.
Well, I'm not so sure. His head went back.
Well, I'm not so sure it was the elbow that made contact, Stephen.
Forearm. Either way, it hurt. And he could be in a bit of trouble for the next game.
Here's Darren Britt again. Highly rated by Chris Anderson. He was his club coach at Canterbury before Anderson moved away to Melbourne. And England making a change. Fleary is on for young Stuart Fielden, the young player of the year, Fielden, replaced by the older head Darren Fleary. And here comes Lockyer, and he finds Gidley, and Gidley finds Saylor. How on earth did he keep hold of that? Girdler didn't keep hold of it. Gidley rather didn't keep hold of it.
Trouble is, it came off Andy Farrell, I feel. Did the ball hit the man, or did Farrell go for it? Back on the inside, Walker trying to get him in. And there you see, did it come off Farrell's leg? This could be a feed to Australia.
Hey guys, not play that.
No, it's England's head and feet.
Well, he's deemed that the ball played the man rather than the other way around. It's a big relief, I'm sure, for the English players out there. But look at that solid defence. See how they move in from the angle, even at the scrum base. The centres come in so quickly. Give you no room to move at all.
Naylor plays the ball to Long, who gives it inside to Anderson. And Gordon Tallis has left the field, as we saw. He's gone into the dressing room, probably for running repairs maybe. Here's the England captain, Andy Farrell, and the Aussies know all about him. Every time he gets it, there are 2 and 3 waiting. Now then, Fleary with his first touch. He gets to halfway. Good tackling by Johns. Quick play the ball. It's on the last. Little dab through by Long. Taken out and back play.
He's playing on the advantage. It could be a try.
There's a chance.
It's a try. Oh, what on earth has he done? Why didn't he just go into the corner?
Leon Price had the line beckoning.
What on earth is the youngster thinking of there? He had the line at his mercy and he just offloaded. He cannot believe it, and neither can I. All he has to do is slide. No way in the world that Darren Lockyer would have got to him if it had gone underneath and slid on the wet turf. Beautiful work from Sean Long. It should have been a penalty, but the referee played the advantage. We should have scored a try here. Well, Rodgers did well. He put himself in between for the pass. But that man there, John Keir, knows only too well they have bombed a certain 4-pointer.
Well, they have another set of 6 because the referee gave Australia the dropout underneath the posts, and here come England again, and they're gaining in confidence, trying to keep this ball alive. It's with Adrian Morley now. But I'm with you, Leon Price, had he slid, he would surely, and there's a penalty to England. Interference at the play of the ball. Referee's whistle's gone, the crowd angry, but Australia had stopped.
Whistle's gone.
The whistle had gone, Australia had put their foot off the gas. They have the penalty, England.
Well, the fans don't like it.
Now, the Australians stopped the moment the whistle blew.
See back on the inside, they turned their backs, looked at the referee.
Never played it square, but he got killed.
He wasn't playing it square, looking to get away with it in many ways. Good work from Rowley, though, took full advantage, realised that the Australian first and second markers were slow.
So an opportunity for Andy Farrell to level the scores. Damien McGrath and John Keir discussing with manager David Howes there in the background as well. I think they know that Leon Price might have scored. let's put it down to the fact that Price is still just a teenager. As Farrell hammers the ball between the H's. No, he doesn't.
Ooh,
no, he
bad
doesn't.
miss.
Well, from this angle, that looked like it had gone over the top of the H. But the touch judges waved it away.
Left or right?
Just spinning away to
Left or right?
the left-hand side. Touch judges in fine position, of course. Well, psychologically, that will be a bitter blow for this English side. They know perhaps, oh, that was a swinging arm there. Stevens it was. But they know England. They should have been in front.
Yes, they should have been, at least they should have been level. Rowley. And here comes Adrian Morley again. Fed by Tony Smith he was. The change had been made by Australia. Here is Farrell. He showed it to Senior. Farrell just hauled down by Matthew Gidley. Good run from the England skipper. Rowley to Smith. On it goes to Long. Long will dab it over the top looking for Radlinski. Brilliant stuff from Matt Rogers.
He's certainly no weak link. That's the third kick that Rogers has looked after with ease. It was a difficult one. It was just dipping in front of him. But good option to take the gamble. Radlinski was applying the pressure.
Well, that's what you said, and that's what you've said consistently over the past 24 hours, that England must take the game to Australia, must take the chances.
Not only that, but kick early like they did in the tackle count. That's how Australia came up with their try.
Penalty to Australia now, ball stolen, two-man tackle.
It's a vital period now for the English. This is where the Australians always seem to fight back when you've just missed out on perhaps scoring a try. You don't know what's going through your mind, but they do. They will really up the tempo now, will the Australians, that's for sure.
Darren Britt hangs on for Australia, tackled by Rowley and by Darren Fleary. John's the dummy half, and he gets it away to Brian Fletcher. Fletcher met by Farrell, by Morley, by Fleary. He won't go down, now he will. That's 3 tackles gone.
Keep your eye out for Brad Fittler. We haven't seen much of him as yet.
Andrew Johns is away from the first marker. Big hit though on him, just 10 metres short of the line.
Felt
the
that.
Australian captain did. 1990-94 Kangaroo. And he's on his haunches, but this is Kamali stabbing it through dangerously. Oh, he stretches out. He's lost it. He's lost the football. The referee will go to the video ref again to check it out. Has he lost it? Did he bounce it? Has Fittler scored? He thinks he has.
I think he has. I think Fittler gets to this ball first. Kamali, beautiful little dink on the wet surface. He's onside. Little doubt about that. Good half a metre behind. Punches it through. See Long going through it, but he gets there first. Look at the spray of the water. Scoops it up. No knock on. Spins around. This is the important point. Does he reach out and get there? He does.
Yes, he does. Providing it was on the line or over.
No doubt in my mind, they'll take another angle. Whether we see it or not for the referee, yes, we will. This is good work, though, from the Australian skipper. That's TRY time. Sadly, they have a habit of doing this, Australia.
Video referee isn't 100% convinced yet.
He wanted to see if there was a knock on there, but he was taken well by Fittler. Slowed it down, flipped it up. Did it just leave his fingertips? They're going to go frame by frame. He's not convinced. He takes it on the half volley, does it, or does it move? Oh, this is a big call.
I don't think you can take that away from him.
Even at slow motion. Now then, does the ball move a fraction?
Well, look at that water. It's a la 1968 and the water splash at Wembley.
Well, it was well picked up for mine, and I'll go for TRY. I don't want to say it.
Well, I think the debate rages for the video referee, and there doesn't look anything wrong with the grounding. Brad Fittler is convinced. What say you, video referee? Oh. Well, that is a massive, massive call in the context of this match. And the decision is a knock-on.
Trying to get the ball here, guys.
Well, we said that perhaps they would go frame by frame. He was quite happy with it. Well, he just shook his head. Brad Fittler, his experience, he knows what it's all about. He's already had the wonderful experience of lifting that World Cup trophy.
Well, I don't think he can believe it. And I have to say, if that would have been up the other end, you and I would be furious now.
Oh, he's not corner, Sean Long. What a mistake.
Well, maybe justice will be done.
That is not the time for the man of steel to come up with a mistake. After a huge let-off. The Aussies had one a couple of minutes earlier, of course. Leon Price, to my mind, should have scored.
Get it loose, stay in loose.
Plenty of drama ready.
Oh, there's drama here, and will Australia make England pay for that? It's the skipper again. This is a huge set of 6 for the English. Gidley, back it goes to Kim Morley. Good ball, Fletcher. He keeps it alive. A good defence from England. They're scrambling well.
Good work there from Naylor and the hooker, Paul Rowley.
Andrew Johns nearly drowned then. This is Jason Stevens.
Sean, get outside.
The Australians are 5 metres away from the English line. And there's Darren Britt again. Good hit. Adrian Morley.
Super stuff.
Kim Morley again. Knocked forward, knocked on anyway. Saylor will pick it up, but the referee will blow the whistle and bring them back. No doubt about that.
Well, somewhat over-elaborate. On ball out wide, there was never any chance that Brad Fittler was going to get the pass from Kamali. Either way, it was Matthew Gidley that came up with another one anyway.
Give me a channel.
And the most relieved man inside this Twickenham Stadium will be the fella there, Sean Long, who's just passed it inside to Chris Radlinski.
Stand up. Out here.
Well, I must say, controversy will reign at half-time, and I really feel that Brad Fittler was perhaps badly done to. It looked a pretty good try.
Well, as I say, if it was up the other end, we would be calling now for a charge of larceny on the grandest of scales.
We're not that biased.
I think they were hard done by the Aussies, I have to say.
So you agree with me now?
Without a doubt. Farrell with the kick over the top, and is that too deep? Yes,
it is.
It's out on the full.
There's a disappointed
Out on full.
England skipper. He knew how important it was to go into the last 10 minutes trying to keep Australia deep within their own territory. But only 2 points adrift. We'll be quite confident.
I wonder what thoughts are going through the minds of our viewers on the other side of the world tonight, Steve-O, back in Australia. They're watching this on Fox Sports. They're watching it on Channel 9 in Australia, and they're watching it also on Sky TV, NZ in New Zealand, of course. They're watching the opening match, the biggest match of the opening round anyway of the World Cup. I think Australia have a penalty here.
First shot was too high, guys.
High shot.
Keep him down.
It was Rowley first, and then Howard came and had a go.
And Kim Morley felt both of them.
Across the chest, finished up underneath the chin, but Harvey Howard, talk about putting yourself about.
Johns,
pretty strong.
Johns has taken a quick tap, and he played it to himself. And it's Wendell Saylor at dummy half, and he spins the ball wide. Britt, and here is Lockyer. Britt found Stevens, who found Lockyer, and Naylor is claiming the knock-on. The referee won't have any of it. Johns again. Kim Morley, danger every time he gets it. Fittler, that looked forward from Fittler, but it's Matthew Gidley, and the referee's going to give this. The referee's going to give this to Gidley, and England pay the price. Gidley with the try. From our angle, mind you, I thought the kick from Farrell was over the top of the post earlier, but from this angle the pass looked suspicious. But he can't go to the video referee for forward passes.
No, I think it was all right. It was a beautiful piece of play from the Australian skipper.
No problem.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You can see how dangerous they are. They were all queuing up out wide. That's a problem that the English have. They work hard in the middle, but they have this wonderful ability to create the extra man. That's what they did. Simple try, well worked out.
Justice may be seen to be done as Matthew Gidley gets the try. Former junior kangaroo 2 tries for New South Wales in the 56-16 win over Queensland in June this year. And now Matt Rogers. Well, he missed with his first attempt. I wonder if he's got his sights set from the other side of the field. He's missed another. It's not the night for goal kickers. This turf is very wet and the non-kicking foot will slip. But Australia ahead 8 points to 2. 2 tries to 0.
Lack of discipline really created a problem, and when Australia did get the ball, they were queuing up out wide. Good work, though, from the Australian skipper to putting this youngster, Matthew Gidley, really has come to prominence this year. A little bit more pressure off the coach, Chris Anderson, who knows he was going to be in for a big battle. Oh, he let it bounce, he got away with it.
He did, Rogers. It was almost as though that was in the text for Rogers then. He just allowed it to bounce on this treacherous surface, but it came up for him. And now another penalty, and Fleary has been conceding a few since he's come on.
Again, lack of discipline. And I just get the impression that England are just hanging on now, hoping to get to half-time for a talk from that man, John Keir.
Well, they're trying to slow them down at the play of the ball, aren't they?
But in doing that, you've got to make sure you don't concede those penalties.
Yes, you've got to know exactly when to get up off them. And this is Jason Croker.
Australia now starting to go the second phase of attack. Watch how they'll be running behind the man with the football.
Here's Kim Morley. Those penalties are certainly levelling themselves up as we approach half-time. And now it's with Darren Britt, and this is Stevens. And he's lost
the ball.
it.
Oh, we took a gamble, and now we've lost it. They'll take the first knock on. Well, it is very, very wet out there. There's the first loss. And why on earth? Well, I can't believe how Scott Naylor wanted to try to get the way there. That Stevens lost the ball. That'll be the first knock on.
Yes, it is. Whitehead and feed, says referee Paquieto.
Oh, we've only minutes to half-time. Why on earth is Scott Naylor trying to loof the ball back in wet conditions? Just drop on it. Possession is vital.
You can see 20 minutes of possession in the opposition half altogether. I must say the Australians, it seems to have been permanently down the England end, but that stat says no.
And the big problem with that means that England would have had to do most of the tackling, so they will be tiring late in the game. The Australians, they're pretty smart. They know that they've got the strength to go through on the full 80 minutes. That final quarter will play its part.
It's Fleary who gets the offload, and England keeping it alive. Radlinski, they're lined up out wide. This is Senior taking them on, and Senior stays in the field of play. Saylor doing well, and Scott Hill doing well, and Doran Lockyer rather doing well, but England on the charge with Long. Crossfield kick, this is for Price. Oh, it's just skipped off the turf.
Wonderful quick thinking there from the halfback, Sean Long. Knew that the defence was tight. Australian sliding defence, midway across, to the dummy. The chance was there. Just wasn't long enough. Great break, though, from Radlinski. Senior did well. He knew he was sliding towards the touchline. That will have lifted their spirits just before half-time. That was the type of move that they needed.
Yes, what would England have given for a try there? Fletcher gets to his feet and plays the ball, and here goes Rogers. That blonde rinse standing out like a beacon. Fleary's all over the top of him again, and Fleary ought to be careful. He's been penalised so often. Kick over the top again, but that's going to be easy surely for Chev Walker. Just dropped like a pudding then in the 10-metre area. And now England have got to hang on for the football for this set of 6. 3.5 to go to the half-time siren. Radlinski. 8-2 to the Aussies.
Well, you saw on that occasion that Chev Walker learned from his mistake before. Remember when it allowed Wendell Saylor in for an easy try. He certainly has bucked up his ideas. He's thinking all the time now. He is dropping back a little bit earlier. Obviously, the word has gone out from his coach, John Keir.
Slice kick over the top from Andy Farrell. Saylor is after it. Saylor picks up 20 metres away. And Senior and Morley eventually wrestle Wendell Sailor to the ground. Now it's a vital 2 3/4 minutes here for the English. Tony Smith and
Stand here, wait.
Chev Walker doing the tackling, and he felt that, did Matthew Gidley.
Going through a lot of defensive work as the stand-off Tony Smith.
Come on here. Right here, John now.
Johns gets it away. Stevens gives it to Fletcher. Fletcher, oh, great ball. Here's Lockyer, he's chimed in. And England have it back.
Pretty fortunate there. Trying to force the pass. Good work there from Leon Price. But again, it shows you that when Australia did that quick play the ball and the first man coming, it looked as though it was a bit of a shepherd, but good work from that youngster.
Now then, Sean Long, Andy Farrell, and Senior's hit the gap, and Senior's lost the ball. Australia lose it now. They'll bring it back to the first.
Let the knock on, no advantage.
There's an England player in back play, by the way, receiving treatment. I think it's Adrian Morley.
Still problems also for the second row of Brian Fletcher.
Where you go?
So 2 second rowers receiving treatment.
He's blowing hard, is Morley. He has had that sternum injury. And there is another Aussie on his way to the blood. Oh no, it's an Englishman on his way to the blood bin. No, it isn't. Mike Forshaw has just wiped the blood from his mouth and has gone back on. So no change made there by John Keir.
Now, England have to be aware. It's likely that Brad Fittler will opt for the kick straight from the scrum.
Andy Farrell indicating something to the sideline there about one of his second row colleagues. Maybe it's Forshaw with the blood, but Gidley gets the ball away to Girdler. England funnel back and scramble again in this defence that has stood them well so far, but they have to repel the borders here for the next 1 1/4, and this is Rogers, and he was hit fearsomely by Farrell.
Sean Long picked up a knock, the tackle previous.
Here come the green and golds again. Out the back door it goes. That was dry weather football. They've got away with it.
It's knocked back to 6. Still got the count going.
Now this is Britt on the charge. He turns and spins and offloads. Great movement from Australia. Kim Morley, though, is tackled by Senior and also by Fleary. Johns goes wide to Fittler. It goes further wide. Ball's popped up. Rogers has gone without it. England breathe a sigh of relief. Referee will put the scrum down. We've got half a minute of the first half remaining.
Knock on by Rogers. Good work, though. Combination of the centre. It just wasn't strong enough. Good work also by Leon Price. See how Price goes across, follows his opposite winger. And it was that pressure that ensured that man, Matt Rogers, didn't get the ball in the half volley.
Well, they'll be pleased with this situation, England, I can tell you. Only 6 points adrift after all this pressure from Australia. And if we were talking now about Super League, we'd be saying that this is so tight, this match. But the fact of the matter is the Australians have had so much possession in the first half that now comes to an end.